Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Tonight, inshallah, we're going to be talking about a very important subject that is relevant to every single one of us, and that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's statement, يَرْفَعُ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَالَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ دَرَجَاتٍ. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has raised those individuals who believe and those people that have been given knowledge. And this raising in rank is something that's really important. It's something that we all seek. All of us want to have a closer stature. All of us want to have a closer proximity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And one of the main vehicles and one of the main ways to do that is by seeking knowledge and learning about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Someone might ask, okay, what do I learn? Where do I start? I would say the simplest thing that is important for everyone to start with is understanding Islam and understanding Iman. What does that mean? That I understand the 5 pillars, again, generally, not in specific, and I understand the 6 pillars of Iman, again, generally, not necessarily in specifics. Getting into details of all of these subjects is something that is definitely praiseworthy, and I would encourage everyone to do that, but at a very basic level, these two are the fundamental parts of our religion. And how do I complement this as a lay Muslim? Being in touch with a local scholar. And I would say, very simply, this is a person who is able to practice his religion freely. This is an individual who can practice it in their day-to-day life, because anytime they have an issue or they have a problem, they know exactly who to reach out to. And because they have the general framework and understanding of how the prayer works, of how fasting works, it's usually going to be very exceptional cases in which they need a particular question or a particular solution for. And inshallah, all of this is helped and covers in that. So what about a person who wants to go a little bit further? What is it that they do and what should they do? Go seek what you enjoy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us multiple avenues and multiple sciences for us to learn from and for us to seek. I need to choose what is going to help me, what is going to help me grow, what is going to help me become a better person. And someone might say, okay, well, I do want to go into the 5 pillars a little bit more. Well, then go study fiqh. That's something that's really important. But just studying fiqh is not going to be enough. I need to complement this with personal character development. I need to study some tazkiyah. If I need to understand how I develop some of those rulings, I can go and study usul. If I want to understand where a lot of these rulings come from, I can go either into the Quran or into the hadith. And if I go into Quran, I can go into ilm tafsir. I can go study the different dictionaries to help me understand how different words are being used throughout the Quran. If I want to study hadith, like how is the hadith science formed? And these, walillahil hamd, these are oceans that have no shore to them. So how do I choose? I choose the ones that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given me insight and has drawn me toward. In the first step before all of this, someone might say, okay, well, I do want to study Islamic sciences. I do want to study more about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Well, the first thing I would say is to study the language. In studying the language, there's going to be layers to it. Many of us, when we say, I want to study Arabic, we don't really have anything in particular in mind, but I would say most people, their personal goal is to help them understand the Quran. And helping us understand the Quran, it doesn't really take that long, because the Quran is limited in its vocabulary. Now, will I understand every single detail? Will I understand every single word? Will I understand, what happens when I change the order of some of the words and some of the verses? No, but I will have a general grasp of what it is that's going on. So these, inshallah, are some beginner steps on how it is that I go to seek knowledge, but I'm sure many of you are aware of the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he compares the scholar to the lay Muslim, saying that the scholar is like the moon and the lay Muslim is like the stars. Both of them shine, both of them are beautiful, but the beauty of the moon in comparison to all the stars, there's no comparison there. And the fact that the scholar is able to leave behind such a strong legacy, the fact that the scholar is one that is respected automatically in the community, the fact that up until maybe even the Industrial Revolution, in order to become famous, in order to establish oneself, in order to actually develop a lot of wealth, a person would go into the Islamic sciences. This is specifically fiqh, in order to go on to become a judge. It's very unfortunate how the strength of some of our institutions has declined, but that's because we've stopped giving them importance. We tend to send our kids into many worldly sciences, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But the problem comes in when we send them to those institutions at the cost of our Islamic ones. Many of these Islamic institutions, unfortunately, have developed their own bubbles. It's very difficult for them to work outside of certain spheres. And now a lot of these worldly sciences and these Islamic sciences, they're not working together, and they're not complementing each other. And this is why we've kind of developed this distrust for the clergy. What do we do? What's the solution? Seek knowledge. As always, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always makes a way. Allah promises us, وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَل لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ. That if I am God conscious, if I have taqwa, Allah will make a way for me, no doubt. And He will provide for him. And this rizq, it can either be ma'nawi or it can be haqiqi, right? So either it can be actual rizq, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us sustenance, He's giving us food, He's giving us water, or it can be spiritual. And it can be in terms of knowledge, it can be in terms of spirituality, and growing and bettering my relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if we understand that this sustenance can come in different ways and can come in different forms, it's important for us to keep seeking, keep working. Don't worry about the polemics, don't worry about the names, don't worry about anything, just go and learn. The only time that I will have failed as a student, as someone who is going and learning and going and seeking, is when I stop asking questions. That's all I have to do. Because questions are directly related to my conviction. My conviction is directly related to yaqeen, and my yaqeen is directly related to my iman. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us and make us from those who keep asking questions, from those whose iman continues to increase, and from those who have firm and strong conviction. Ameen. I look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow night, inshallah.